Well, welcome back, everybody.
Hey, what's up, ghouls and ghoulettes? Yes, I know Halloween is over and the spooky season is kind of, you know, past, but
It's
because of
never over.
scheduling, yeah, October's over, but it happens. But after it was mainly because we had some scheduling issues, people being sick, that kind of thing. But since we still have some time, we are now going to do our either this might be our last kind of spooky theme movie review kind of discussion for the year. I'm not 100% sure. We might do another one next week depending. But
Depending.
yeah, depending. But for today, we are talking about Halloween Ends, the last Halloween movie from the trilogy brought to you by Mr. Green.
Mr. David
So,
Gordon Green.
yep. So, we this movie there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot. Um I guess since, Bomber, you are the residential Halloween fanatic, I guess we should get your perception on this movie. What did you think of it? How'd you feel about
Really, you go. Wow. I think this movie. What? How do I put it? It did what it did. We gave us like the final confrontation between Michael and Lori, which great. Um, as well as how Michael Myers actually affected the town
it?
prior to what happened in Kills. And we also are getting like indication that like the this like the killing the things that Michael Myers has done and infected the town is kind of, I guess it's kind of like a curse of some kind that's affecting the city of Haddonfield, because even after he disappeared after Kills, like uh there's more like more deaths going on, even unrelated to Michael Myers, but it's just it's um
The town is just really just it's ruined by Michael after the second one.
and this is more for like an end for Lori's sake, because she's still like, I wouldn't say like, dealing with the events of it. She still is, but she's kind of like putting it in her words into a kind of a book that she's writing about confronting your boogeyman, in which she's also trying to like, still trying to reconnect with her granddaughter, even though she's been doing that for the past two films.
He's still doing it.
I mean, I don't blame her that her both her parents got murdered by the same guy.
Hmm.
And um it's just like I would, it's an okay film. It's an ending that has, it can leaves its own interpretation. I think it's fine the way it is, but I rather hope for more.
Right. You wanted more.
Yeah, especially the
You
third act. I kind of wanted more from it.
I I will I would totally agree, and I'll tell you how I feel with this movie. Anything else you wanted to add or anything?
That kid fucking deserved it in the beginning, by the way.
Yes, he did. That kid is an asshole.
Play stupid games, get fucking stupid prizes.
Rises.
Anyway, go on.
Well, so before we kind of we're not gonna give like a full plot recap of this movie because honestly, it's so new. You can really just But um, how I feel about this movie is I liked it more than I originally thought I was going to like. What I thought I was going to like it, but I'm also still disappointed with certain things. I do agree. I do love how they try to focus on how Michael changed the town for the worse. It made people, Michael made people worse.
It brought out something with people.
It brought out the worst, most evil parts of them. Like it was already there in the first two movies, but it was more so in this movie. Um, but I think there's the main problem that this movie has is I think it's trying to juggle way too much with the runtime it has. You can kind of tell that this movie probably would have had a more cohesive vision if it had more time. But the fact of the matter is, this is as much as Halloween is like the set standard of horror movies. It's still a slasher movie, and you don't want to watch a 3-hour slasher movie. So, um, yeah, I kind of agree with Bombert. There's things that I love about this movie, and then there's things I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah,
So
the third act what could have been, you know, I kind of wish the third act was a little stretched out more.
I know I wish the final confrontation between Michael and Laurie had a, was a lot more impactful
It was
because
bittersweet, basically.
it was really kind of bittersweet, and I get what they're going with. Like these two people are tired, old, they're beaten up.
Michael, especially after he's even after surviving the beatdown he did in Kills, he's laying dormant somewhere, in a hidden, kind of like
Vamp-
it's in a like a dying animal.
I kind of view him more like a vampire almost. Like especially when the actual main villain of the piece, Corey, quote unquote villain. You can say villain or so.
I mean, he's a Duro antagonist.
Yes, yes. He brings in that cop, and Michael kills him. There's that moment where Michael literally looks like he's sucking the soul out of this guy.
Like
Like he's literally like shaking.
he's shaking, like he's reinvigorated, like it's like I'm alive. I'm alive.
It's Evil Dead or Army of Darkness. I live again. It really is like you know it, it really takes inspiration from Dracula because Corey is the Renfield to Michael's Dracula. He's an assistant who brings kills to Michael. But there's a little bit of a difference where in this story, Corey um, actually actually dethrones Michael, takes his mask, and starts going on his own killing spree.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny to see them actually having a confrontation. It's kind of like Michael took up an apprenticeship with Corey, and it's like trying to leave a legacy, but then it kind of at again the third act kind of put that down.
It sent it to the back of the shop and shot it between the eyes, pretty much.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
That is again like another problem with this movie. It's the fucking third act. Like the first and second act are really good. Excellent even.
Because it's building it up because you actually can see the transformation of Corey.
Turning
Um,
into the next shape.
yeah, I noticed this too, that when that one the one dad like said like I saw his eyes and that they weren't his. I noticed that Corey's eyes were hazel, and as soon as he met Michael, his eyes became completely black.
Hmm. He got the devil's eyes, pretty much. But another thing I think a issue with this movie is it doesn't know whether it wants to make Michael supernatural or not.
Even though we kind of know he is.
Well, here's the thing. I think this movie would have been 100% better if it either went two ways. The first way is have it where Corey kills Michael, just takes Michael's place. He imprints on Corey, Corey kills him, you know, Corey becomes the new shape because, the legacy of Michael is that Michael the human is dead, but Michael the boogeyman lives on forever.
And no, we're not talking about like Jason goes to hell shit.
No, no, no. Who said that? Who said that?
I just realized what you were saying, and I'm like, no, no, no. It sounds like Jason goes to hell.
Yeah, I know, I know. No, not like that. Not the body jump, but
He's a
more.
worm.
He's a worm. But it's more like the whole. I think the movie should have focused on legacy, and it kind of did. But that was one way it should have done it. I think that would have been the correct way, or they should have had it where Michael is really supernatural. You know, he corrupts people by his very presence. They kind of did that in the first movie.
Yeah, especially in the beginning where people were starting to fucking freak. The inmates were starting to. The patients were starting to like freak out when as soon as the one of the podcasters like pulled out his mask, and they're like, oh, they're like feeling his goddamn presence. I'm like, holy shit.
His JoJo aura, his menacing aura.
And he's like, oh, he like, and I forgot that guy's name. Loomis's
His protege.
protege, Satine.
Maybe I don't remember either.
Hold on, give me a sec. Sartine. There we go.
13. Yeah.
Sartine, and where he goes, oh, he was well aware that you were here, but as soon as you walked through inside these walls, I'm like, oh shit.
I think they should have had it where Michael is for real supernatural, and he, like I said, he corrupts people. He wants more people to become like him. You know, he wants to make copycats and such. And there should have been a moment where, honestly, um, where maybe Lori or somebody, takes off Michael's masks and he doesn't have eyes. Like it should be where they're black. There's nothing there.
Like how, like they're kind of hollowed out.
He's hollow.
It kind of gave that impression during the opening sequence of the beginning where it shows the pumpkins. Oh, I thought it was pretty cool where the pumpkins were kind of like blooming out.
They're corrupting each other.
Like they're like what's like underneath this is another pumpkin and another pumpkin. It's like oh man, like a legion.
Yes. It's kind of, and again, like I said, like this movie has just that problem of it's trying to do too much and it can't juggle them well, and it muddles the message. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess. Sorry, I'm not feeling so great, but I took a shit ton of Dayquil before this, so
Yeah,
if I sound a little weird, it's because my throat is a little scratchy.
it also kind of feels like a love story going
Oh
on.
yeah, yeah. To Corey and Lori's granddaughter,
Allison, yeah.
Allison. Yeah. Oh, for sure. it kind of also I saw somebody post this. It reminded them of Christine.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I can see it honestly.
I,
Michael is the Christine.
I mean, there was a scene where like Corey goes, "Show me how to do it," like in like the movie Christine, where the guy goes like, "Show me how to do it."
Michael's like, you just stabbed him, dude.
Dude, this is a fucking knife.
It's not that hard, dude.
But no, I want to see how you do it. Oh,
Ooh.
but I like how when he reached for the knife, Michael's like, "Nah, no, kid,
No, no, no.
no." And then he's like, "No, I gotta put you. Sorry, kid, gotta put you down."
I don't think so. I think one thing that I honestly did really enjoy with this film is the pace. The pacing is really good. Like it's not overly bloated, but it's not so quick that you just miss stuff and such. So I give kudos to like the editors and stuff like that for keeping the pace at the right tempo. But
Yeah, I agree about that.
and the music is obviously really good. I mean, you know, I think John Carpenter did the score for this
Yeah,
one as well,
he and
or
his son did.
so again,
While
really
David Green describes it as a love story, while John Carpenter described it as a departure from the predecessors.
pretty much.
Like it's like a slow burn to like it's an edit end, like kind of like I guess
Yeah,
age.
yeah, and it's kind of a a goodbye letter to the Bloomhouse era of Halloween movies because after this, the Cods, the people who actually own the Halloween franchise, they have full control, and I think they're gonna do their own thing after this.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, this is honestly the best kind of send off that. Well, it's not the best send off, but it's a decent one.
it's a lot better than Jurassic World Dominion.
Never seen it, so
Mm,
did I miss anything?
um,
No.
I mean you can watch it, but as a Jurassic Park fanatic as well, I have some words.
Ooh, sounds like something to probably skip.
I no, still watch it. I mean, hold on, puppy's doing something.
Puppy is being puppy. But yeah, it's like he wants to be petted. He's like, "Father, pet me. Father, notice me." Smoke break, smoke break. Gonna have a smoke break. Not sponsored by Marlboro, but smoke break, smoke break. Boop a doo ba doo ba doo.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey,
Where was I? Oh yeah, I have words.
yes, words, words. Um, I guess we'll talk about Corey a little bit because he's actually kind of the main character of the movie.
How he starts out like it's basically like he's just like a babysitter, like Lori, and well, obviously Tommy is a much better. I said this before that but the kid in the beginning just totally fucking deserved it for what he did. That's for coming someone from me who doesn't like cruelty with children, but this wasn't a child.
This was a little asshole. Well, the big problem, or so with Corey, um, I think I understand why people might not appreciate this movie as much. It's mainly because of the marketing of the film. They marketed this movie as, the final battle between Laurie and Michael. But in actuality, this is actually a story about Corey and his slow and inevitable fall into darkness and such, which is interesting and it's really good. And the actor who plays Corey is a fine actor.
If they introduced him in the beginning, I think it would have like eased in, like
Oh
the
yeah.
eased in kind of the transformation.
Oh, you mean like kind of introduce him? Um,
Like maybe in the beginning, like in the first of the trilogy,
yeah.
and then slowly like he makes an appearance in the second movie, and then that's when we go to the third one, and that's when he begins to fall.
I think that would have been a good idea, but um, that will be something we'll talk about when we give our when I give out my final thoughts of this movie. So, I did really like it that he is equally creative as Michael with his kills. I think his murder of that DJ was really brutal and really well done.
Yeah, especially where it just kept skipping.
Yeah, and the makeup effects just looked really awesome. So kudos to that.
Someone should take care of your sharp tongue.
God, cuts his tongue out. It's like, oh my god, Jesus. Um, but I guess if they wanted to do it where it is a story about Corey and such, then the ending really doesn't work. You know.
Yeah.
We're about to say some spoilers, so spoiler alert. Brace
Like
yourselves.
if you need to back out, I would back out now.
Yeah, we'll give you a couple seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Say it kills Dumbledore.
I thought Iron Man killed Dumbledore.
Oh, you're wrong. It was Patrick Stewart.
Makes sense. Killed him with a wand. No.
Also, I just recently discovered that Patrick Stewart voiced that fucking King Goobat Goo Goo
Oh,
guy. The
From Jimmy Neutron.
the Jimmy Neutron movie. I didn't know that was Patrick Stewart. Anyway, that was that. Anyway, random thought. Go on.
Very, very random, but it's okay. Um, I mean that's why you guys are here for randomness and bull crap like that. Um, so no. Spoiler alert. Corey confronts Lori after he does his killing spree. Um, and they have like a little bit of a struggle. It's not even really a struggle because Lori just fucking outright shoots him.
Yeah, she planted the trap too, like where it's gonna be like I'm reporting a suicide and all that, and you're thinking, oh man, is this for real?
Yeah, like at first I thought, oh man, she's gonna actually kill herself. It's like no, she just wanted to get Corey alone so she could just fucking kill him. And what's really even more brutal is after the little struggle and Corey getting shot and such, he really tries to ruin Lori's last human relationship, and that's with her granddaughter. Um, and Corey, he kills himself pretty much. He stabs himself in the throat, and
Puts it basically like Laura was there, so it kind of puts the pin on him, pin on her. I mean,
yeah. So when her granddaughter walks in and sees it, she thinks, "Oh my God, my grandmother just killed my boyfriend." Little does she know that he went into fucking town and murdered God knows how many people, besides the people that we saw and such. Which the kills in this movie were pretty good.
yeah.
And then you have the final confrontation with, with Michael, because Michael comes back, takes his mask back, and they have their final struggle. And again,
Uh,
another spoiler alert: Michael dies in this movie,
like for real.
like for real, at least in this continuity.
And it's
He
kind
is
of and it's kind of like putting down like an animal where Lori's like, it's okay, let me help.
yeah.
Like be at peace and shit like that.
hmm What's really what I like most about it is after they kill him, and to make sure he doesn't somehow come back, they throw him into like a what was it like
Industrial shredder, and that's not just like Lori and her granddaughter. The whole fucking town, like was like, no, this ends tonight. This is when evil dies tonight. Oh my god.
and it did.
Like it was like, no, this is the when evil dies tonight. So man, I hate to be the guys from had to be the people from a Hanfield who went out of town for vacation. They get the phone call. What they did? What? Oh man, I missed it.
I was too busy in Tahiti.
It's like what? That happened? Ah shit! Come on!
But
I leave for one day.
pretty much. And then well, they put him in for that shredder, and that completely destroys his body. So there's none of that, there's no ambiguity with him being, alive or dead or anything like that. No, he is just dead.
I like that like some of the officers are disagreeing with me, especially that one because he reminds me of
No.
the one fucking cop from Dark Knight. That no more dead cops kind of that guy where he keeps going. This is not how we do it. And I'm like, okay, we got your opinion. This is not how we do it. I know you already said that. This is not how we do it. I know we know.
Well, too bad.
And then that's when the marshal comes in and goes, we do it tonight. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. And it's honestly a really triumphant moment because, Haddonfield has been kind of cursed with Michael's presence and his actions. So after that, they're kind of free of everything. Yeah, for now. At least with this continuity.
Yeah.
This continuity's over, so um I also like it that there's the old saying like, oh, if the slasher villain, make sure he's dead, I would have thrown him in like a wood chipper or something to make sure he
Well,
doesn't
there
come
you
back.
go.
Guess they do exactly that. And I like it that they showed the shredder beforehand, so it was gonna get used later in the movie. So there's that.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends with Laurie's doing her final monologue, and you get that shot of Michael's mask on the table, and that's really it. That's the movie.
Yeah. Hang on,
Um.
I gotta let the dog in.
Okay.
I gotta let that puppy
Smoke break, everybody.
I just realized I,
What's
I
that?
I looked at the desktop audio. Um, I forgot we turned it down the last time we did the podcast,
Oh no.
so your voice is gonna be a little quiet.
Oh boy, that's okay. That's fine. Next time. But I guess final thoughts before we end it. Uh you know, as you guys know, we have a way to give our final thoughts. We do the good, the bad, the downright ugly. So, Bomber,
How about we don't do the ugly this time?
really, no ugly.
No ugly.
You know what? I agree. Perfectly
There's
valid.
not really anything ugly with it. The only time there's actually ugly with it is like when there's something like, you know, bad CG or shit like that.
Oh, you mean something that's obviously just terrible?
God, imagine we have to do the Mortal Kombat movies.
I don't want to do the. I don't want to do Halloween Resurrection.
Anyway,
Yeesh. But anyway, so yeah, you're good and bad.
huh? You go first. I always do the first. I always do this.
Okay.
Uh oh. Hello, it's me. Intermission, everybody.
Okay. Sorry about that. So
I
first
put
off
on
the
the
good.
intermission music.
Um, so first off the good. The direction was excellent. Um, all the actors, yes, all of them played their parts extremely well. Corey is um a really good character. I of course liked everything what they did with Lori, and I think um the soundtrack is excellent, obviously, and the last good I would say is this is actually a very decent send off to a trilogy of films that originally they did not plan for a trilogy. Originally, they were just going to do Halloween 2018 and that's it. But, here we are. So, um, all right. What's your good?
I do like how the direction it goes with this movie. This movie does feel like I wouldn't say a proper send off, but it's such a bittersweet send off that's more for a victory with Lori, coming to terms of her survival, as well as well, the boogeyman is dead, and you too can kill your boogeyman.
Mhm.
And Corey, I still think Corey's a good character in the terms of it. They met like Sartine basically referenced that what happened, like made like a references, or like there was a theory that what if like Michael was able to imprint his actions onto somebody, and that's kind of what it is. It's kind of been um kind of was referenced in the first of the trilogy, and then later was put into play in ends. Um, do I think it should have like ended at 2018? Yes and no, but I still enjoy the trilogy as a whole as it is. It's a lot better trilogy than the Thorn trilogy, or the Rob Zombie. No offense, dude. I think you're better off being doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies,
Agreed.
because it's just because of your style. That's all.
Yeah, it fits his more grindhouse style.
Yeah, and and that's all I gotta say about this. Well, actually, no. I like how it kind of like it's how would I say it's like it started off something like where it could be like could have been an ending, but or left to interpretation, and then as it grew, it kind of grew like to how the actual town was affected by Michael's actions 40 years ago to now where he's like he's out and such, and it's to where like now it's to the triumphant end of them actually destroying the body, the remains, and making sure that this boogeyman stays down for good for now.
for now.
I
But
don't,
I totally
I don't think he's done for good. I think he is because they shredded his remains. Yes, but again, there might be copycats.
There's always, yeah, that's always a thing. There could be copycats, or they'll just have it where they'll have a movie where it's like it's not set after this trilogy. It's set in its own kind of thing and such.
Honestly, if they could do like what they did with Season of the Witch, but like Season of the Witch, but the masks that each of the trilogy is that mask is the villain of the movie. Like kind of
Oh,
like they're
like
trying to do the
mythology.
yeah.
You know, it's funny. They originally Green wanted to have references to uh, the third movie at the end, especially with Michael's mask, but they couldn't do it because of rights reasons and stuff like that. But yeah. Anything else?
No. However, anyway,
I guess we go to the bad. This will be very short. I think the only thing that's bad about this movie is there's a lot of potential in it, and it feels like this movie kind of wasted some of it. That's really my only bad with this movie. Is I feel like there was a lot of potential with the ending and just the general course of the movie, but it never went the way I would have liked to see it, but the way it did, I won't complain. Also, I felt like this movie was trying to juggle too much and it had very little talent to do so. It was kind of muddled, the messaging, is Michael supernatural or not? Is Corey going to be the new Michael? Is this about Lori? Is this about, you know, I think like the message it was trying to show was it wasn't executed as best as it could. And I think it's because of like stuff like when COVID went down and such, they had to do certain things and such.
it kind of. I'm gonna interject. It also kind of affected the second movie as well. But continue.
Mhm. Well, that's because these two movies were filmed, I'm pretty sure back to back.
Yeah.
So that's why. So if the movie feels a little disjointed at times, that's why. And that's really my only complaint. That's really my only big complaint is that. So, what about you?
My only complaint is the third act should have been like more,
Impactful?
yeah, impactful. I kind of wish the confrontation was stretched out a little bit more. And maybe stretched out a little bit more. And I mean, I'm okay with what we got, but I wish it was kind of a little, like I said, more.
Yeah. Because when you expect an ending to a trilogy, you want it to go big or, go home and it did okay, but it could have done better. So, all right.
And that's about it. That's our view of Halloween Ends.
Yeah. I guess we will give it a numerical rating. We usually do like 1 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Okay. Me, 7.5. 7.5. Excellent movie. There's just issues with it that keep it from being like a high 8, high 9 movie. Definitely go see it though.
I give it an 8 because of the
Really?
well, if you're because I when before we did this review, I rewatched the trilogy and actually got more in the context of what was going on with ends, and that's kind of what made the 8.
So like if you watch it all together and such, it makes a lot more
It's
sense.
like one of those movies where like if you rewatch it and then you're like like actually think about it, that's kind of what it kind of changes your perspective.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. So next week, um, uh, if we do the podcast, depending on if schedules align, we will do I believe, a discussion about kind of like haunted house or ghost movies, stuff like that. Um, stuff like The Grudge, that kind of thing.
Ugh, Patrick
Um,
Swayze.
the scariest one. Or it's going to be and it's either that or we're actually going to go back to the world of the tabletop. I think it's time to talk about Warhammer.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time.
But which
Or at least
one?
getting
But
close.
which one? You
Both.
you decide.
Do both.
But I only know
Because
one. I only know one.
oh, that's okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Tune in next week for our next podcast. And of course, tune in for Bombert's streaming later this week.
Yes.
So you guys have a good night.
Wow.